Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Friday edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. I can't believe another week is in the books, and we are at our Friday fun place, 10 Palms, Gulfstream Park. Jeff Diva DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz on the mixing board, getting us up and running. And we got to start today by shouting out some birthday greetings.
Mustang Sally, my wife. How many years has it been? I don't know. Did you know
that
Lubie?
She's alive, or that you've been
together?
together?
We've been married together.
It's not an anniversary.
I would say
it's a
8 or
birthday.
9 years.
It's a big one too.
We've been married like
it's a
7, 8
significant
years.
one in a lot of ways. Happy birthday, Mustang. I have to stop by Publix on my way home, get a card and the obligatory flowers and some shaving cream.
Are you supposed to say this?
See, now, if you're buying shaving cream, roses, and a birthday card, what are you saying? That you're like last minute,
Yes, you 100%.
no consideration whatsoever for what was really
Shaving
going
cream
on?
for what?
I got to shave,
For him.
before I go to the
I
party.
thought something kinky was going to be going on. I was
shaving
already.
cream?
That would be
That's
whipped cream. That would be whipped
Mayo,
cream.
You're off your game.
Or maybe it would be my new cologne, which.
The Mayo.
What's the story there?
So Sarni sent this to me the other day as a possible food topic. I dismissed it out of hand, but then I heard you guys talking about it on the morning
Professor
show.
brought it up.
This is gold. It's and I'm thinking, why didn't I think of it? But basically, you want to give the rundown, Defo? What exactly happened?
Well, what's the guy's name? Will Levis,
Will Levis
is a
from the
quarterback in the
Titans.
NFL.
Tennessee
Somehow,
Titans,
yeah,
the guy who beat the
End of
Dolphins,
the Dolphins
right?
season, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, not a terrible quarterback. I don't know that he's going to be any NFL great, but he came up with a cologne that was, in the scent of mayonnaise. Now think about this. You're walking into Fabergé. You're Will Levis. You got your agent or whatever with you, and you go, "We got one for you, Fabergé. How about something that smells like mayonnaise?
It's a
You
blockbuster.
smear it on yourself." Now, would they not? How long would it have taken them to laugh you out of the place? And they actually made one,
I love it.
apparently.
Well, before
It's
we
astounding.
get
But
into
what does it smell like, man?
so here I
Smells
can
like
answer your
mayonnaise.
question because when I heard that Will Levis was basically had partnered with Hellman's, and I'm a little surprised because in Tennessee that's Duke's
Yeah,
Mayo
it should be
country.
Dukes.
I'm really shocked that he went.
I really like
with
Duke's
Hellmann's.
mayonnaise.
Dukes is good.
I like it.
But so now I thought, hey, last name Mayo. I'm a food guy.
100%.
And I'm going to come storming into this market. Obviously, there's a huge market for food-scented cologne. And lo and behold, the R&D of this, for me, it was a total investment of $3.89 at my local
And you
Walmart
smear
market
it on your neck.
because it's called Real Mayo. And
I
I
heard
think
it
it's
drives
brilliant.
Val wild.
You don't have to go to Fortunoff's. Remember
Wow.
Fortunoff's? You
Yeah.
don't have to go to Neiman Marcus. You don't have to go to the counter and get some
I like
atomizer.
Burberry, but I
You
guess I
could
was wrong.
just get your Real Mayo now. This is a beautiful.
Well, what are they charging
scented
for
cologne.
the Will Levis stuff, Lubie? You were looking at
$8. It was $8.
this. $8. That's all.
Sarni said it's $8.
And karate is 10.
Yes, yeah.
And
What do you
here's
mean? My soap that I use is like $8.
now you
Old
make a good
Spice.
point because mayonnaise
It doesn't really
it
have
really
that big
doesn't
of a
have
scent.
a smell. I mean,
Nothing.
the only
Yeah.
time you smell mayonnaise is after it's been sitting in the sun and goes rancid at a
Yeah.
picnic, and
Yeah,
that's
You're not going to see
anything.
like Panama Lewis putting it under some guy's nose in a corner. I
To
mean,
wake 'em
hey,
up.
come on, wake up, champ.
Now here you have my Real Mayo, also known as Eau de Mayo, and you can get it right now at a supermarket or convenience store near you. It's called Real Mayo, creamy and smooth,
You just dab it
and
behind
you
your
can basically you take your
ear.
French fry.
fine.
Don't they
And-
do that at the Catherine?
Well, they do French
no.
fries and
No,
mayonnaise.
that's
They
in
do that in
clam.
Belgium. But what you can do is you put a little dab
Oh, that's clam chowder. they
right
use.
Yes, it's
behind
the
your
clam
ears,
chowder. There you go, sir.
and it
Here's
just
your
drives not only the women, but I think the squirrels and the chipmunks crazy.
I was gonna say
I'm actually
my
dabbing.
dog
Oh,
will
you
like
did?
it a lot
Oh,
more
yeah,
than my
nice.
wife will.
I think you could also eventually use it as a hair gel.
I wouldn't mess with that hair.
That'll reminisce.
But
I
the
saw
thing
a
about
guy today. I
Mary.
thought of you in my walk of life. I saw a guy that had more well-preserved Jewish hair than even you do, and I thought that's remarkable. I mean, that's one hell of a
it's
head.
big and bushy right now because my hairstylist, who I've been going to for years, Steven, he's been on injured reserve. He had, I guess, first COVID and then a really bad bout of flu and pneumonia. He out for 3 weeks. I kept calling him, but I finally did snag an appointment
No,
tomorrow.
you look good. You look good.
Tomorrow at
Yeah.
11 a.m. I'm going to get my locks shorn off again. I guess
Who
people
are
are
you screaming
Are
for,
people
man?
screaming at Saratoga?
Oh, Woodbine, man. I told you the 6 would win, didn't I?
I'm
Oh,
alive.
he's not even on the board.
I'm alive in the double at Saratoga. I don't know what
Oh, you
just
are?
happened. Yeah, they have a big race day
Oh,
today.
they started early today.
The Go for Wand, I think, is today. The Travers is tomorrow. And this is
Well, what do you
something
think about that?
that will always get
You should talk Travers.
Sarni's goat going, is that the horse racing is really the most equal and progressive sport
Yes,
of
it
all.
really
'cause
is.
It's advanced.
women
Yeah.
can compete on the same playing field, not just trainers and
Can I steal
owners.
some of your salad?
Yeah, of course.
All right, thanks.
What's
But
everyone's having?
the actual equine athletes, we've got a filly, a super filly, Torpedo Anna,
Nice.
going against the boys in the Travers. Torpedo Anna won the Kentucky Oaks. She's won all of her filly races, and she's also assistant trainer. Trainer in the barn is my friend Nick Galati.
What's Nick
who-
saying?
They love the horse. She's
Really?
just
Is
she's a
Torpedo,
beautiful specimen.
Anna the favorite in this race?
No, as a matter of fact, I did some research, and let me get a little dab
Is
of
Dornox
mayonnaise
a
behind me.
favorite? The
Dornox
horse
in
that
this race?
It's
Oh,
basically
saved my racing
it's a
season.
great race,
Holy
and then
crap, what a
I'm
race.
wondering if maybe I should factor that in as the contest tiebreaker. But no, we have to go college football with the
Oh, my nose.
start of Florida State and the college football season.
I guess
tomorrow.
it's true. It's your daughter's nose now, I guess.
But it is a great race. The Saratoga, the DraftKings Travers Stakes. Do I have to say the sponsor
God,
name?
really?
They're not paying us.
Why not?
No,
Yeah.
they're not.
Maybe
Maybe
someday.
they will.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
That's the hope.
It's
love
race
Gulfstream,
number
they love
13 on a 14 race card. Good luck having any money left by the time post time
Yeah,
for that
exactly.
rolls
By the
around.
way, put a line through the all button lately because all chalk been coming in the last couple of days.
Yeah, but you know what
that
happens
bodes well for the long shots. In this
on the big race
Yeah.
days. Saratoga, goofy things happen. So if
Yeah.
it's been Chalk City, Milk and Magnesia City these last
You never
excuse
know.
me last few days.
I like the milk and magnesia reference. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Well, that's yours. That's
No, but I
copyrighted.
You know what's funny?
But wait,
I'm starting to become more attracted to you, Mayo, because you're wearing.
The
that
Mayo.
sense of
I find myself like leaning
It
in
makes
and
you think of
being
tuna.
interested in what you're
now,
saying.
now, don't make Val jealous. Don't start
You're remembering
licking.
your mother's tuna sandwiches.
This
You
this,
might even eat a tuna sandwich.
this
with-
could
with
be
this,
a real turn on for old Jewish men who eat tuna salad sandwiches
Yeah,
for lunch, and or any. You know what? It is kind of a little bit of a.
I mean, is it better than Old Spice? I'm not sure.
I'm gonna get a little another dab back here.
Jesus.
It's kind of crazy. Real Mayo available now at stores everywhere.
Are they kidding with that? I mean, come on, $8 a bottle.
So the thing with the Will Levis thing, so it's obviously one of these gimmick things. Remember last summer
100%.
there was an ice cream parlor up in New York, Van Leeuwen's or something, and they came up with a ranch dressing ice cream,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
just sounds utterly
No
horrible.
one's eating that.
Yeah,
That's not a-
ridiculous.
Because
Yeah.
ranch dressing is just
And I
basically
like ranch.
spoiled buttermilk and
Right,
and basically mayonnaise.
Well, when it's
squared.
one of like two choices with French and ranch,
That's what
you're
you
like,
eat, ranch.
I'm screwed here. What am I going to do? Does anybody get French dressing anymore?
Remember
Whatever.
Russian dressing?
Russian dressing was big.
Thousand
Aren't they all
Island
Thousand
is-
Island?
Thousand Island is Russian with chopped pickles.
I thought they all the same thing.
Russian is smooth. It's basically Russian is French dressing mixed with ketchup.
My friend Ira Dornstein, who owned Big Three Caters in New York, a rival of what was the place in Great Neck?
Leonard's.
Leonard's of Great Neck, where
I
my
know, I
oldest
know, I
brother,
know.
rest
Rival
in
of
peace,
Leonard's.
had his bar mitzvah.
He turns 90 today.
Oh, wow.
My
wow.
friend,
Ira's the
and
best.
he used to make the best Russian dressing. I mean, but it was a big thing. What, 50 years ago? When was it
100%.
popular? I mean,
I don't
I
think
love
they've had
Russian
French
it.
dressing was always a
French
choice.
dressing
was
Do you
huge.
ever hear a restaurant come up and go, "Would you like French dressing?"
No,
on
and
that?"
then
No.
all of a sudden, balsamic came into the picture. You know,
Yeah.
it used to be just if you wanted oil and vinegar, you got to get those two shakers.
Right.
There was no such thing as balsamic vinaigrette when we were growing up.
Nah,
The world
I'm
has
a big
changed.
fan of balsamic vinegar.
I love balsamic vinegar.
I love it's healthy.
It has a nice flavor.
I
to it.
like Caesar
It's light.
dressing. I like
This salad is great. by the way.
creamy Italian.
Yeah.
All kinds of dressings.
Joe Beja. again.
But getting
Yeah,
back,
they're killing it.
the gimmick of having a ranch dressing ice cream or a mayonnaise cologne is
It's
just
for
to get
this.
people
It's
talking.
this. I mean, they know people aren't going to use it. It's to get us people to make fun of it because, again, people are going to go buy it, try it, and actually it just makes you go, oh, yeah, Hellman still exists.
Right.
I heard Donald Trump is wearing it on the campaign trail.
And it's been a real,
And he's got the
boon.
My Pillow guy all over it too.
So the other thing, but if you
Oh.
were to create, let's say some crazy cologne company came at you, Yves Saint Laurent or whoever makes colognes
had
these
one.
days, Chanel. What was it?
Oh, the racetrack.
Oh, God.
So, like, you could smell like Santa
Smells
Anita
like
if you wanted to
piss.
be like a California guy.
No, that's
You
not
could
a.
smell like the bowels of Aqueduct. I mean, that was
bowels-
more like a urine sample.
That's
And-
not good.
Yeah.
We don't like bowels. But
Go back with it.
well, and like I do like the smell of a racetrack when you walk around the walking ring and
Certain
stuff like
racetracks
that.
have a decent smell. Yeah.
And but I wouldn't say odor racetrack. I'm thinking food items. You would think that anybody. I'm getting nervous now because Lubie is playing with his computer.
I'm just
I don't
doing the
worry about
link.
see
We're on
us-
air. We're good. I'm
Are
just
we?
Never worry about
people.
Are we really?
People want that stupid ass thing where I do the other camera. Right?
Oh,
so
okay.
I need the link.
Okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Yes,
you're
we are on the air. I
You're
get
fine. You're fine.
needlessly
Believe
nervous
me, you'll see when
sometimes.
you know when things are not going.
Okay, if
well.
I were to
You are a bit of a nebbish on this.
I don't
kind of
I don't
stuff,
hide it
well,
when
if
I'm
I don't
stressed
see
out.
the screen, I don't believe that.
I
we're
get
really,
it, but
I still can't
I let
believe
you
that
know
people
when
are
I'm
Always
really
stressed
assume
out.
you're on the air. That's
I let you
number
know
one
when I'm
rule.
stressed
Always
out.
assume you're on the air.
I'm the first person to tell you when I'm
Look at the
stressed out.
number of guys that have said things off color when they weren't, thinking that they were on the air.
Oh, no,
Boom.
Yeah,
that-
you always
next
forget
thing
that
you
would
know,
be bad. But
Who's that? The Brenneman, the guy was
yeah,
the
we
great
don't
announcer.
even want to
Boom,
go
outta
there
here.
because we don't even say or think things that could
Exactly.
get us
I never think anything
in trouble.
that
Although
would
who's
get
going to
us in
throw us
check.
off the air? I mean, we're our own bosses, so that part is good. No, a luxury food item.
Gretchen, she could get angry. I mean, that would be the end, right?
Yeah,
That's
Gretchen.
the
We,
one
we
thing
all,
we need to keep.
always
All of
want
a
to
sudden,
We
we'd
love
have
you,
to
Lexi.
challenge your leverage there.
We
at
love
Lexi
you.
South Florida.
we do love
We love
the
you,
Lexi
Sun Sentinel.
Sun Sentinel.
Thank you.
We're going to be
What
tying
is that?
in.
166,000.
We're coming up to 165,000,
Wow.
165K,
Wow.
which I think is bigger than the city of Fort Lauderdale itself, and that's
Possibly.
it's pretty good. Means one out of
Is
every.
there a reason to question the challenge the numbers?
No, there's no. This is not. I think TikTok.
Hello, Georgia. I need 11,000 more votes.
TikTok, I think, inflates their numbers. I don't believe any numbers on TikTok, but I do believe. Oh, you got the B-roll going. Okay. If I were to make a cologne out of a food product,
What
I
would it
think
be?
luxury truffles. People love truffles.
Wow,
They
see-
like the fragrance of
Yeah.
truffles. I think a truffle cologne.
I would be like a chicken parm.
chicken
I mean, if you
parm.
smell like a
What's
chicken
something
parm,
that-
you're going to be attracted.
Cookies, because they
attracted
do
to
that
women.
when you go
Oh,
into
fresh
talking
baked
male
cookies.
a
cologne?
house. They do the cookies for to make you
Sourdough,
buy
fresh
a
sourdough
bread,
loaves.
coffee.
coming.
Coffee's another smell that
Coffee is
people
a little
like.
strong, but I say something. Yeah, you're on the right track. A beautiful like a donut shop,
Yeah, stuff like
a
that.
bakery.
But these are actual good
Oh,
smells.
bakery,
Babka.
nice French
Yes.
bakery,
Bread,
Italian bakery.
How about a
Cakes.
fresh babka? How about a babka cologne? That would be
Okay.
beautiful.
So, anyways, Annette asked what's on the table. So we have a chicken Caesar with some blackened
No
grilled
one has
chicken.
dived into this chicken.
No, because I got the French
beautiful.
dip.
We have
And
a
this
French
is-
dip.
Take that, Houston's.
Good job on the
We have
Caesar.
their new
chicken Caesar.
chicken
Nice, yeah.
milanesa, which is really nice with angel hair pasta.
Do you want to? Did you get in on? Okay, you got
Yeah.
the
What was,
sushi,
I have a question for
chicken
you guys.
milanesa with the
Rainbow roll.
properly cooked
and
pasta.
dragon roll?
Go
What,
ahead.
what was Lubie?
There you
He had
go.
like 3 things that looked like ice cream lined up at the Joe Beja Festival last week.
Azuka.
The
Oh,
Latin,
the ice cream. Oh my
The
god.
Yeah,
very
what was the story on that?
So, and
The ice cream
we'll
was
talk with
fantastic. We'll
Joe.
do that
But
with
man,
Joe.
what a
You
successful
did it again.
Havana Nights,
unreal.
or he called it Havana Days. It
Oh,
was
Havana
a Cuban
Nights is a
rum
nice
and Cuban
idea.
food festival.
Yeah.
Packed house, sold out.
Did you have a Cuban
And
sandwich
all
there?
his like the little touches were great. I mean, not only with the food and beverage, but
They had
domino tables set up, cigar
Yeah.
rolling.
They
So
had a
they're
live
giving away
cigar
cigars
roller.
where you could go outside and smoke your cigar. I mean,
They had a
proper
salsa band.
everything.
Baseball game going on in the paddock.
A whole roasted pig with the head on, and
Fidel giving a speech.
no Fidel giving a speech. This is
I'm
Miami.
joking. That's not
You
true.
have-
I'm joking.
Jorge Mascanosa giving
Exactly.
speeches down here, or whoever. Remember those days when they would
Alex
the
Fernandez.
protests,
They had Alex
banging the
Fernandez.
pots, and when Van was coming to play, whoever Van was, some Cuban.
Those were better days in terms of milder, more temperate protests. So,
Elion,
you could kind of dig it, yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
the
told you.
fisherman.
I bought my house off the fisherman, Sam Ciencio,
You did?
No,
who
you've never
rescued
heard
Alien.
this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
wow, that's
this
funny.
is a story?
No, that's true.
No,
It's
that's a
real
true
thing.
story. Yeah, the house I bought when I lived there for like 15, 16
But you never
years.
saw the Defo Mansions. Great
And
house.
yeah, it was a great place.
Great
I
house.
bought it off the fisherman.
He's from Pompano. Oh, where is it?
Well, it was Pompano Beach.
Right.
And Sam Ciencio, he owned 5-star roofing.
and he became known as
The
Sam
fisherman.
the Fisherman.
Yeah, the fisherman.
And did he always start every?
He was a really good guy. Really good guy. And the story was completely different. You with your fake press. I mean, at the time, the way this story was really being covered. No, but I mean,
I was a sports fan. back
You're
then.
our
but the story itself was radically different than it was depicted.
So did he start by saying it was a dark and stormy night?
You know what? He was just one of these good guys that would have done something kind of like this Waltz guy, that like it wouldn't have mattered if he was risking his own life. He was going to go ahead and make the move. And who was the crazy guy, the cousin?
Oh, good.
Oh God! Oh, Mario. It was something. With
Oh,
an M.
Mayo something.
Yeah, there was. Man, I remember those days. Neil Rogers just used to go off on the whole thing.
D'Amato, I think was his name, and he was very prominent. But he actually told Sam not to go and save the kid.
Oh, that Donato became known as the fisherman.
Donato Dalrymple.
Donato was the one who kind of glommed into everything, and was the one who was holding him in the closet when they were pointing the guns.
He couldn't have been any more opposed to pulling his kid out of the ocean. That's the way the story goes.
Oh wow!
So for a while after I moved in there, I mean, they would interview Sam. The house next door to me was empty at the time, and like you would see like TV trucks pull up, and they would set up this whole big one-on-one thing for Good Morning America, CNN, whatever, with my buddy Sam, who was just a good guy, a degenerate gambler who enjoyed betting boxing and fishing, and was decent enough to risk his own safety and get this kid back to safety.
Was he on a tire tube or whatever?
He was floating in the ocean in a tire tube, and they didn't know what was going on. They went out fishing on a Thanksgiving day, left from the dock behind the house that I ended up living in for a long time, and came back and rescued Alien. And then, of course, it became an unbelievable cause celeb because it is a very difficult issue to wrestle with. Does a kid belong with his father, no matter what the circumstances? Or does he belong with, some government?
Look,
because there's a lot of political
story because
stuff.
the mother perished. Right, the mother took him on the dangerous journey across the seas.
How many columns did you write about that, or were you sports at the time?
Back then, I was still in sports. Back then, I was covering college football, and but this and other things in the year. What year was it anyway? It was like
that'd be like 2000.
98. Janet Reno was the
around there.
attorney. It was the Clinton years. It was before the 2000
I remember being
election.
in high school, and I was in high school in the late 90s.
And it was one of the things that probably helped sway Florida go towards Bush in 2000.
Yep, it was big.
Janet Reno was
because
all
of
over
the whole
that thing.
Janet Reno ordering in the armed.
Versailles was right in the middle of it. Speaking of restaurants, everybody was rallying at Versailles.
It's a good thing that's not this week's restaurant. It's but yeah, because we're celebrating, believe it or not, National Cuban Sandwich Day today.
Oh man, that's a hot topic.
And I have used Versailles.
It hasn't been as controversial. I mean, are people eating less Cuban sandwiches? Well, are they not as popular as they used to be, Mike Mayo? You should
get
know this.
them at various restaurants.
Cuban restaurants,
sandwich restaurants, Cuban restaurants. Our friends, remember we went to that place called Broad Shoulders Sandwiches.
Yeah,
was operated by
that
great chef Tom, the other Tom Azar, who him and his wife Cheryl. It's no longer around, unfortunately, but they had a full range of sandwich offerings, including like a great Reuben sandwich, but they also had a great
good Cuban
sandwich.
Wow.
They did everything well.
Meanwhile,
I'm eating a sandwich here today.
What do you think of that?
This is, I don't know if it's new to the menu. Is it new to the menu? The French dip?
No, they've
here?
had it.
I love French dips, except when they're at my place where I can't get a Bloody Mary with it. Here at Gulfstream,
you do hold a grudge, man.
I do.
No,
I'm like, I have the memory. If you combine an elephant with an ex-wife, that's the kind of memory.
Like Luke brought it up because he got his start at Houston's and he was using it as a positive.
Yeah.
I started at Houston's. It's why I have a regiment, and it took everything Mayo had to be like, yeah, go Houston's.
I'm telling you, I know a restaurateur that was very successful, and he thought Houston's was among the, I mean, maybe this is going back, he thought Houston's was among the best chain restaurants in the country.
Houston's is a great launching pad. It was. Let me put it this way. It has launched a lot of great
chefs,
food service careers, both managers, front of the house people, and chefs. They have some very good systems in place. What's gone wrong, I think, particularly in the last 10 years, they've gotten so full of themselves, and they are very successful, that they think their stuff don't stink. They don't think they could use some mayo.
Well, and you know what's funny? That's the antithesis of everything that we pick up from anybody that we have on the show.
100%.
All of the people that we deal with here. They're 1,000% all in customer service.
Everything from saying, no, we don't want to have any parties more than 4. So they just basically say, we prefer parties of 2 and no parties of 4. And sure, we love kids, but no strollers or high chairs. No cash is accepted anymore, which I think is against the law. The Pompano one says no cash. We're cashless. And
what if you don't carry a credit card?
Exactly. I think they have to take it, but they would prefer not to. No substitutions.
Well, and that's also a big issue in the industry because obviously servers seem to be far better off if you pay cash for a tip.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't
my
have to
rule of
wait,
thumb is
there's
I
dents.
still, I'll pay a credit card for the bill, but give the tip in cash. They love that.
They love that.
Yeah, and that is the proper. If you want to make,
and you don't know what the
everybody
policy
happy.
is at different places. It's not like they're trying to rip people off, but look, if you're working that night, you want to come home with cash.
Yeah.
You don't want to come home and say, oh, I got to wait till the end of the month to get my credit card tips.
so
And some places, I guess, are doing that.
yeah. But the other thing at Houston's, okay, so they like to say no a lot, whether it's Bloody Mary during the week. They only
Have
make
you tried
Bloody
to make
Marys for
amends
Sunday.
with these
No,
people?
no.
No,
At
actually,
any time,
I've
no?
had some discussions with a friend of mine who very successful and did a lot, was pivotal in launching the success of Cheesecake Factory, but he knew the guy that founded Houston's. It's called Hillstone Group.
Okay.
And he could have put me in contact with him when I was having my whole jihad to have him on the show and maybe have a thing. I never did make the call, but they like to say no. And I heard another story about a guy who went in at the bar and wanted to order to go at the bar, and they said no, we don't do that. And basically,
Come on.
because
You're
they're
sitting there
not.
paying $20 for a cocktail and they won't serve you to go. Come on.
Who
No,
cares?
they wouldn't pack him a to-go thing. He had to go through the rigmarole
We
of
pulled a move.
You know what,
ordering
I haven't-
ordering the thing to sit at the bar
Pretend
and then
like he was
saying, "Oh,
eating
can
there."
you wrap this up because I'm full?" And
It
it's
used
a
to be
charade.
the
These-
one in Pompano used to be a very popular destination for people with meetings, whatever.
Yeah.
Seemed to be like I was there frequently. I always found it good. I mean, it was great. And then I guess it was later on. I mean, I haven't been there for years. That they started to institute. They had some weird policies back then, with
Yes.
sharing and this and that. And the table of five thing is really weird because you used to make sure that you grabbed some bum off the street when you went into Wolfie's Rascal House, so you would be a party
the
of
line,
three,
the right line.
and
yeah.
you go right to the front.
They've gotten very snooty there. How did we get here? They also have a long, boat
No, but
dock,
I enjoy actually.
You're
They have a
talking about
long-
the Dolphins, I think.
and they no longer allow boats to dock there because people
That's
on
weird,
boats.
yeah.
Wait, you have a boat dock, but don't let people
Right.
dock there?
They stopped letting people. You know why? Because
Oh,
the
God.
boat people weren't appropriately dressed.
Oh,
they were
God
wearing
forbid.
bathing
Yeah.
suits and
In
flip
South
flops.
Florida, who knew?
They have a dress code where you're not allowed to
Those people
wear
have lots of money. Like, why would you
bathing-
turn those people away?
because it's Houston's, and
I
they
get it.
apparently they can afford to. And
I'm
good
sure.
luck to
That
them.
used to be a nice aspect. of it.
Anyway,
And I kind of dug it. I mean, I would love seeing some guy pull up on a boat
Yeah, it's fun.
with three chicks in bikinis and
Yep.
some fat guy that was a manufacturer.
You would
in
think
Canada.
that they would maybe be aware of their surroundings and bend
It's
some of
friggin'
their
South Florida.
rules depending on their locations. But no, not Houston's. Anyway,
All right,
the French
you got
dip
that
here,
off your chest.
You
it's
did it.
done. What's not done is this
It's
beautiful
done.
French dip sandwich right here at 10 Palms, which is the first time I'm having it. It's nicely shaved, thin, nice cheese melted with a little bit of the
It
sauce.
looks like it came off the
caramelized
carving
onions.
station in the clubhouse at Santa Anita,
Oof.
which was the
It's
all-time
good.
greatest
I'll let you
sandwich.
have,
Yeah.
have
No,
a
of
bite of
course.
this one.
Well, of course.
And
No,
the
I-
au jus is on point, as
And
the
if you
kids
want some
say.
of this is fantastic.
I got to go conservatively here.
He's eating
I'm
big
eating
dinner.
salad with chopsticks because I still have the Mustang dinner coming up.
Oh, wow.
Anthony's Clam House.
Are
yeah.
you going to be getting the clams at Anthony's Clam House?
You know what? I don't know that I've ever had clams at Anthony's.
They're
Clam
good.
House. They are. You know what? The guy does a good job with octopus and all that stuff.
You know what I wouldn't recommend there?
Oh, Jesus.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Remember, this was the fight, the Carpaccio.
The carpaccio.
Oh, the carpaccio? I don't think
probably
there's anything
solid
wrong with
piece.
it.
It's a little bit like a roast beef.
Most
Not-
places-
it's wild.
Mayo, most places are
Mayo,
going
you're
to
weird.
compare unfavorably overall
friggin'
with
Runway.
Anthony's Runway.
Yeah,
It's
runway,
Runway.
is nothing but impeccable quality.
And they treat
Hey.
you like a king, too, on top of
Yeah.
that. And they
Hey.
treat everyone like a king, but still.
You know what? We want to talk about getting treated like a king, getting good quality, and getting great value. Now you're talking about the trifecta, and you're talking about one of my favorite places, Tropical Acres, and I'm going to be making a visit tonight.
Oh,
Anybody
yeah, you're
out
going?
there,
Yeah.
come on in during happy hour. I'm planning on being there for a little pre-gaming.
Are you
before
buying for everybody?
a
$7
poker
a drink?
I will buy water for everybody.
Well, the
in
bar, they
place.
don't see that many
No,
people.
man.
You can buy for everyone and not really pay a lot of money.
The insurance check has not arrived yet. If
Yeah,
it
but
did,
it's raining, Mayo.
Oh, yeah, you may have another one on the
Yeah.
back order.
yeah,
Mayo's never moving. He talks about, I want to sell the house and, kind of pare things down a little bit and really live
It's
at home.
my-
It's like a stream of income.
when people ask me what I do for a living, I say insurance.
That's it. Like he's, afraid the dealer has 21.
Oh man! So Tropical Acres is my spot. You can't beat the happy hour deals. 4:30 to 6:30, half price drinks on everything. including the premium liquors like my favorite Belvedere, the martinis for $8. Are you kidding me?
$8 is
And you
amazing.
get
though.
Nick
That's
and
fantastic.
Tony working the bar there. You ask them for a little bit, some of the blue cheese olives on the side. They'll hook you up.
Nice.
They've got great light bites there in the bar for happy hour. That's Monday through Friday. And then, of course, you go right into the dining room, get some of those beautiful prime rib, filet mignon. Menu is
They
delicious.
never make a face there either, no matter what you say.
Nope.
You never,
I
you
mean, the
never get that.
Studiali family is fantastic.
Yeah, no, they're great.
And I forgot, I gotta also put in the good word. A friend of mine was called back for a server position. Jay Friedman, he's a degenerate
I
like
thought you were
us.
going to
But
say needed surgery.
no, Jay, guy named Jay. He used to work at Jackson's Prime Steakhouse.
Oh, yeah?
That was Jack Jackson of Burt and Jack's. And he wants to get back in the game, and I hope that they do hire him because Jay is a classic old school server.
Nice.
But anyway, enough of my recommendations about personnel.
Did you make a call?
No, not yet.
No, if you were going in there to eat, you would have made a call.
Well, tonight you'll go there. And make a-
Well, I'm going to see people
You'll
tonight.
tell
All
them
right,
tonight.
Tropical Acres also has
Even
the
on a Friday, they have the happy hour too. That's
and they
cool.
also have on a Friday night the Twin Lobster Special,
Oh, nice.
$39, two freshly flown in and boiled New England lobsters, two of them, pound and a quarter. When you have two of them, that's more than enough food for me.
It really is,
and
yeah.
I have a big appetite, let me tell you. And if I have two of those
No, you're
and
good.
the salad and the side dish, which is all included
Defo
for
and I had leftovers
$39,
when we did it last time.
can't beat it. 2500 Griffin Road. Don't forget your loyalty reward club card. I'm going to find it because
How
I think
many
I
do you
got a
have?
I did
freebie.
like 12.
I think I got a freebie
Yeah.
You
coming.
have to be close to a bunch of them,
like
no?
16.
Tropical Acres. Tell them the lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're here at, Gulfstream Park. Travers Day tomorrow. Mayo has yet to weigh in on that.
Oh,
We
yes.
haven't-
Yeah,
we
we
haven't addressed the contest. We have a lot of stuff
We got
to
a lot
do.
of things to get to.
Joe Beja.
But the Travers is packed, even though it's not part of the contest.
Going to be
but
good, yeah.
Torpedo Anna, Sierra Leone, Dornoch,
Dornoch, my horse.
Fierceness,
yeah.
Florida
Fierceness is
Derby
in.
winner.
And,
Wow, what a race.
Corporate Power, I think, won the Preakness.
And what's the other horse?
Holy crap.
I mean, it's
Hannah,
loaded.
whatever
It's
it
an
is.
8-horse field.
Who's the
That-
horse with the H?
The H? Anna Marie.
Anna Marie.
Anna Marie.
Maybe a
20 to
sleeper.
1.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, we
maybe.
got a whole cast of characters. Chad Brown has 2 in. Pletcher has 1. Danny
nice.
Gargan, Bill Mott, Shug McGahee,
Oh,
Kenny
wow.
McPeak
Shug
has
McGahee.
the filly, Torpedo Anna.
Your guy.
It's going to be, that's a great race, but it's not part of the contest. We'll
No,
come back
how could that be?
after these words to discuss what is in the contest because
How
we
could
got
that be out?
we got to do Knowles as a tiebreaker. People want football.
Oh, at least they didn't go WNBA.
And we got a good contest race here at Gulfstream tomorrow. We'll go over all that and more
We love you, Sarny.
after these words.
Sorry.
One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. A little further inland, Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Oh, we're back on the Lunchbox. Just when I stuffed a big bite.
Doesn't matter, no. What the people didn't see during the break is the number of women that came over and tried to make your acquaintance
Because of your mayo.
based on your
Cologne.
mayonnaise base.
Some musk. It's, instead of calling it cologne, we should call it real mayo musk.
Yeah.
Well, who are they kidding with that? That is unbelievable.
That's
I'm
stupid.
I'm
glad
going to
the
have to
professor
get
brought it up
Val's
today.
opinion later, but I did dab a little bit behind the ears. And
Don't say anything and see what happens.
See if she smells
See
it.
if
It's
she
like, what the
goes
hell's wrong
wild
with
like the minute you go home.
you? My wife would be like, something's wrong with you. I'm like, yeah, there is something wrong with you.
oh,
If you get
man.
attacked when you walk in the door,
Oh, God.
Available now at stores everywhere.
Stores by you.
The real mayo cologne.
I still I don't know if it's because my nose is blocked or whatever, but I sense nothing in terms
No,
of
it's
a scent
mayonnaise.
there.
Mayonnaise
Yeah.
doesn't have a
Now,
strong
you know,
smell.
the more I smell it, it really is not
It's
much.
very
Yeah,
odorless.
there's nothing there.
So I guess it's harmless. It's kind of like the placebo effect. People just think that they smell.
Where does that
something
leave
that's a turn
Will
on.
Levis in terms of an endorser? Right up there with Joe
Yes.
Theismann in terms of sincerity? I mean,
Joe
Louie and I
Namath?
used to have a bet every year at the Super Bowl. What would Joe Theismann be hawking at the Super Bowl?
Because there was something different every
And I
year.
cashed at 12-1 with reverse mortgages one year. That was great.
Yeah, like which cockamamie health plan is Joe Namath hawking this year?
Oh, poor
That's,
Joe.
But yeah, we're back on the Lunchbox, and I
have a
did
contest to
have.
do.
We do have a contest to do. What I was thinking is that because what's his name, Beavis and Butthead, Will Levis,
Yeah.
was the one who kind of put that, just horrific loss, hung that
Yeah, another
L
season
on
in many ways.
the Dolphins. I think Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins should be commanded to wear his Mayo cologne
until they exercise their demons.
until they win a playoff game. And I think
Oh,
it would
man.
be kind of a stark reminder of
This is
exactly-
your punishment.
Do I understand this correctly that Patrick Utter was in agreement with your pessimism about the
Oh
Miami
yeah.
Dolphins?
Well, but he's been like
He
that
was
for a
And
while.
worse than
now.
me.
was Lubie,
I know. I'm the
the
positive one.
advocate for light and sunshine.
he was worse than me because he
Yes.
predicted a 9-8 season that might even miss, they might miss
He
the
thinks they missed the
playoffs.
playoffs. He doesn't think they
I
make
mean,
the playoffs at
yeah.
all.
I predicted basically I went
The most painful
optimistic with the regular season. I agreed that they would go 12-5, and
Oh,
then I
wow.
said they would just
Lose
do
the
their
first round.
usual swoon in the playoffs and just get
They
knocked
get a
out.
home playoff game, they'll win it this year if they're intact.
If they go
like
12
any
and 5,
team,
they're gonna be a 2 seed. They're gonna have a
Mark his words, Defo, on August 23rd.
yeah. No, I mean if they go
2024.
12 and 5, I don't know if they're going to
No,
do that.
if they
but
get a home playoff game,
Yeah,
I
they're
think
gonna
they'll
win.
we say the
They'll win.
Dolphins will
I
win
believe they'll
a
win.
home
Yeah.
playoff.
They're a
game.
2 seed. They would play like a 6 or a 7.
It means they're playing well if they got a home playoff game. I mean,
Yeah.
unless something crazy.
Look, if they
happens.
played the Chiefs last year, they might have won. If they
Yeah.
played the team the Texans played, they probably would have won.
These
If they
other
played the
teams don't
Colts,
scare me though. I mean, they just don't. In the AFC.
So
East.
besides Mustang's birthday, did we mention it was Sheldon G's birthday?
We did not,
yesterday?
but we love you, Sheldon G.
Sheldon G,
G.
our man in Vegas, man
Great dude.
who has adopted a lot of greyhounds,
Yeah.
dog lover,
Yeah.
and also
Sends it in with the best of them.
Can you remember like who was a big greyhound trainer back in the day? Because you probably degenerated to this level.
No,
He came along a
He
little
didn't go
later
right.
than I did.
I didn't know there were trainers. I thought they just opened up a can of like Alpo and sent the rabbit running
No,
around, and
far
that's
from
it.
it, man.
What do you got to do?
There were guys
How
who
do you
like,
train greyhounds?
there were guys who were like the
dog
Todd
training.
Pletcher of Greyhound trainers back then.
Can you? I didn't.
Greyhound racing
I
wasn't
knew the-
regarded in such a low light. I mean,
Interesting.
if you lived in Florida and you were following his stuff,
it was
the
classic.
circuit was actually
Back in
fairly
the
impressive.
70s,
Yeah, it
I
really
mean,
was.
I remember coming down here visiting my aunt and uncle, and we would go to the High Life Fontaine
It was kind of
in
fun.
West Palm Beach on a Friday night. Would have 20,000 people at the High Life, and then you go
Yeah.
to the Greyhound track, and there'd be like
10,000 people.
15,000,
Yeah.
and there was like 7 Greyhound tracks around down
St.
here.
Petersburg Greyhound track was a better facility than Tampa Bay Downs.
But didn't Miami have like 3 Greyhound tracks?
Yeah, we had Biscayne. You had Hollywood
Magic
Greyhound
City
track,
or whatever
and
they
the
call it.
Flagler Greyhound track.
Flagler,
Now
yeah.
Magic City. Yeah.
So 3 of them.
You know, it was good. The Hollywood Greyhound track had one of the best restaurants of any parimutuel place. Like you could take a date there, and
Yep.
she would be impressed.
There was some
And,
very
and the
fine
hidden
dining.
factor there, of course, was she didn't realize that you were a sick, degenerate gambler, and she just thought it was kind of cool, like you were in a scene from Good Will Hunting or something. But you know, it turned out that it didn't take long for them to catch on. That the only reason you were there is because you
Think
know
Greyhounds
couldn't
could ever
control
make
yourself.
a comeback? You know, with
No,
all this
no,
No,
talk,
never,
people-
no, and it should.
People
Well,
are
it's
weird
been
about it, and the
outlawed.
treatment sucked.
in Florida by the state legislature.
There was a lot
here.
of cruelty involved.
Oh,
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
cruelty,
yeah.
The
but
treatment sucked.
But if we're talking about freedom, I heard every other word the last 4 nights. Freedom this, freedom that, freedom.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we have autonomy to run the different parimutuels of our
you know, what,
choice?
being an animal lover, you know,
As long as you're not
sometimes
hurting these
look, you have
animals.
difficulty sometimes wrestling with even you know
horse
what's
race.
ethical in terms of animal treatment and horse racing.
They get treated like kings.
I believe that. Yeah, I mean, well, what I've seen is nothing but love for these animals.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
let's face it, there's another side to it. There's a dark side to everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think it's all a
But it
matter
was
of
overwhelmingly so with
you
dog
to
racing.
tally up the good versus the bad, and all for me, it's all good. It's
You're
a
the
big
man.
industry,
That's my friend.
and we love the racing, especially
Travers,
big
man.
race days. All right, let's
Wow.
get to the contest,
And then you can talk some Travers.
and then we can talk some Travers, even though it's not.
You have a theory, I sense.
yeah, but that's a
I
really
could have
strong
done
race.
a double. I could have done both. I could make it a 4-pronged contest.
no, don't make it too
No,
difficult.
Because
you're
that-
already psychotic.
Did
Okay.
anybody hit this thing with Caitlin Clark?
Yeah,
Yes,
last
we
week.
had
Remember,
one
we
winner.
had
I was going to
somebody,
have her with 23 points.
somebody right on the
We
buzzer.
had one
It
winner.
was our man George Kosenko. Had not only he had the restaurant, he had the horse, which was King Cab, a Eddie Pleaser horse last
Wow.
week, owned by him and his wife Lori. But the Caitlin Clark number was 23. George Kosenko right on the number.
I would have hit it.
23. All right,
I become a Caitlin Clark expert.
there you go.
Courtesy of Jim Sarney.
Sarney is very proud of you.
Crazy.
No, but you know what?
But
Being
will-
a basketball fan, I kind of dig the way the woman plays. I really do.
But will you pick?
She's a brilliant passer. She
Will
really is.
Will you pick Torpedo Anna in the Travers?
No, I don't think so. I'd be inclined to bet
Really?
against the girl.
I think she's a super filly. I am rooting for her.
I wouldn't
Not
mind
just
if the horse won.
3-1 morning
I have
line.
a natural affinity towards Dornock.
Fierceness 3-1. Dornock
Dornock's a
morning
grass.
line favorite 5-2. Sierra Leone 7-2. Wide open race. That is.
I
But
still can't
we're not-
believe, along with Andy, that pick 5 on Belmont Day with Dornock winning the Belmont paid $4,000 for 50 cents.
Jeez.
That was the biggest overlay payoff in the history of thoroughbred racing, I believe. And I can actually say that I was fortunate enough to have a piece of it.
That's great.
But yeah, Dornock, I mean, why do people want to knock this horse?
no, he won the tune-up
And
race.
he comes
The Jim
back with the
Danzy.
Haskell
Yeah.
Invitational also.
Oh, the Haskell's
Yeah,
what he
yeah.
won, right? And he reasoned that he's a good horse. A lot
nothing
of good
wrong
horses.
with him. Yeah, nothing wrong with this horse.
And it has nothing to do with our contest this year. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
What do we have?
Email. Okay, time for the the typical
Yeah,
lunchbox
Mayo
10
eats
palm
gmail.com.
Sunday brunch giveaway. Email the answers to this week's. It's a restaurant trivia question, along with a horse selection for this week's Gulfstream contest race. It's race number 10 on the card, numbers 1 through 8, and the tiebreaker this week will, in deference to Lubie and my daughter and Joe Beja's daughter. He was up in Tallahassee this week.
Yeah,
He's
he
dropping
was
her off.
sending us pictures. all
Florida
week.
State, the college football season kicks off, and of course, the traditional kickoff location, Dublin, Ireland. Everybody,
Why not?
Everybody can drink Guinness
Guinness.
instead of
How-
How
Budweiser.
did we not, from the lunchbox, send Lubie there to be a correspondent?
We should have.
I mean, on the dime of the company.
All right.
on
Come
the dime of the company would be a little.
Okay.
On the dime of
Maybe
the
in
next
4 years.
insurance
in
claim.
4 years, maybe.
Possible. All right. Send everything to Mike Mayo Eats at gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Saturday, August 24th, because it's a noon kickoff for that football game.
Oh, it
You
is.
need
okay.
all the
Yeah.
picks in.
Freaking noon kickoff.
Well, remember, it's like 5 hours ahead
Oh,
there.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like a 5 p.m.
Oh,
kickoff
Jesus,
there.
send
It's a
me
noon
the
freaking
kickoff
car.
here.
Oh, that's
All right.
annoying.
This is what it said on my phone. Anyway.
All
All right. Again, the contest race here is the $100,000 Benny the Bull Stakes for 3-year-olds going 7 furlongs on the main track. Post time late, approximately 6:33 p.m.
Wow.
And that's an interesting race. It's an 8-horse field, so it's numbers 1 through 8. But for me, it's got two of my favorite angles. One is I always bet food and drink angles, and there's a horse named Big Martini. And I love drinking a big martini. I'll be drinking a couple of them at about 5 p.m. at Tropical Acres.
You're going to be able to concentrate on the poker?
Absolutely. It makes me loose. I can bluff.
You do need a couple of things to loosen you up from time to time. No doubt about it. Yeah.
My old saying at the poker table is vodka makes you brave and beer makes you stupid.
Well,
what about gummy bears?
Gummy bears. That is
you lost.
It's
cerebral.
It's gone both ways.
Level. All of a sudden, you're like Bobby Fischer, Johnny Chan.
You got to get the dosage.
You're seeing the numbers in the air.
The dosage right, because if you have the dosage right on the gummies, you can read everybody. You see things that you could see through the cards. And if you do a little too much, everything is just upside down.
You're all in on before the river.
I thought it was a pair of aces. It was 4 or 5. Where am I? I'm lost.
No, you got the.
We did the instructions.
You're giving the clues for the.
Okay. Here we go. But some of the names in the Gulfstream race.
We started talking Travers.
You got the Big Martini.
But the 10th race at Gulfstream, the contest race. You got Big Martini. You got Positive Review, which the people on Let's Eat South Florida love to do. Positive Reviews. That's a Saffy Joseph horse that's listed at 12-1 in the morning line. I don't believe that.
There,
and there's also
how many positive reviews did you give out of the number of reviews?
Most of them
that you wrote in the Sunset.
Most of my reviews were 3 or 4. I like to my philosophy is I want to hype places that are good as opposed to just.
Did you feel bad if you really trashed a place?
Not if they deserved it.
Oh, yeah, really?
So,
wow.
And again, look, Joe Beige is here. We're in the middle of the contest. Let's finish this thing up.
Get to the contest and we'll get the break.
All right. And again, the other horses in the race, there's a horse named Vivir con Alegria, which means life with happiness. Yes. Classic Car Wash, Big Data, Loco Abario, Comedy Town. That's for Defo. You love comedy.
Comedy, yeah, that'd be great.
That's the 6-5 Saffy Joseph favorite. All right, that's the Gulfstream race 1 through 8. You can look it up. Finally, the tiebreaker: Florida State, Georgia. And you give me the winning margin, winning team, and winning margin. And Lubie, what's say
Lubie's going 2 touchdowns.
The line's 10 and a hook.
I don't care what the line is. What is your prediction?
I think FSU wins in the cover. I don't know. I told Sharney because he made me give a score.
Okay, you're disqualified.
31 and 13. 31 and 13.
Do the math for me. So the way you would send it in is
FSU would win by
Florida
18.
State by 18 points. That's how you send it in to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. You ready for the question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is and Joe is being very patient.
Joe's on like in the bullpen waiting to come in. He's like Edwin Diaz.
Do you want to bring him in for the question? You want to hear the question?
Yeah, we want to hear this. We want to hear this.
Either way you want to go.
Let's go.
We salute National Cuban Sandwich Day today with a restaurant that serves a good one. And do you know National Cuban Sandwich Day started in 2017 and was a completely made up holiday by a feature writer at the Tampa Bay Times?
Oh, good. Okay.
He was so amused by all these silly food holidays. He said, I bet I could start one of my own. And it actually caught on. It's great. Now, up there, they serve those Cubans with salami. We don't want to talk about that. No. All right, here we go. The clues. You don't have to be Vito Corleone, Mario Puzo, or Francis Ford Coppola to enjoy the Cuban fare at this regional chain. But the restaurant's name in English may lead you to believe that they have some promotional offers that you can't refuse.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Does that make any sense to anybody?
It makes a lot of sense. I don't know that it makes sense with a Cuban sandwich, but
well, here we go.
I guess it does, yeah.
There we go. Number 2, they make their Cuban sandwich with sliced roast pork. Sliced, not the crumbly lechon asada that has become very trendy, leading to the proper pressed flatness along with the ham and the pickles and the Swiss cheese and mustard. And explains why that their Cubano sandwich is now in the running as one of the 5 finalists in the Sun Sentinel's current Best Cuban Sandwich contest that is still going on, and you could vote online, sunsentinel.com. I'll be listing that link later, but that contest, crowning the champion, runs through Sunday, and they'll announce it next week.
All right.
So this restaurant is among the 5 finalists.
Okay.
Number 3, the restaurant also has good ropa viejas, maduros, black beans and rice, frijoles negros, and has been a growing South Florida staple since 1976 when their first location opened in Hialeah. That's since closed, but they now have 5 locations. It's a 3rd-generation family-owned mini chain that has flagship in Hallandale Beach, right down the block from here.
Okay.
Plantation was number 2. Then came Fort Lauderdale. Dania Beach at Dania Point in Boca Raton. All right. Good luck and happy weekend. Send those to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. Let's take our second and final break, and then we'll come back with Joe Beja, fresh from a trip to Tallahassee.
You haven't really made a comment on the chicken.
It's great.
Dish.
He loved it.
Right.
I've been
I'm going to give him some
holding
after the
off.
break.
I'm going to dig in on that on this break. We'll be back with Joe Beja and more from Gulfstream 10 Palms after these words. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you. Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail, and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. We're back on the Lunchbox, and look who's joining us. Joe Beja, Natalie attired, fresh from a trip to Tallahassee. I got out of this latest one, Joe. My daughter just went up there today with her mom. They've made it safely. How about you and your daughter? How was your trip?
It was great. Drove up on Monday and left her with the car, my old car. So I had to fly back on JetBlue.
Uh-oh.
But it was, I mean, driving up was fine. And then moved into her apartment on a new apartment on Tuesday. Wednesday did the shopping and the assembly of shelves or whatever else she needed for the new place. And then JetBlue on the way back.
I see that you made it to Bada Bean, which you told me about, the good breakfast joint. That's good. Did you eat any raw antelope at the Huntsman?
I did not. I'm going to have to do that on my own. So I think my daughter would.
She's more into the Guthrie's, the chicken tenders. And okay.
She is. Yes, she is.
All right. Well, speaking of chicken, kudos. I mean, this new Milanese dish is fantastic. The little sun-dried tomatoes on the side, the sauce is on point, and my favorite thing, the angel hair pasta, not overcooked. So job well done. Your kitchen keeps just crushing it.
You're killing it.
Which brings us
talking
to
about the kitchen killing
compliments. Last weekend. It seems like 3 months ago. I don't know what's going on with this. Was a long week, but last Saturday.
That was a great event. It really caught fire the last week or so. Like, tickets were a little sluggish. Yeah, in Fuego for sure. But it was great. We had over 360 people.
Wow.
So it was great. The cocktails were
You don't even feel
delicious.
it.
The
That's what's
food
great
was
about it.
great.
Lubie and me were among them. It was great. And that pig, the whole roasted pig that Chef Jason did, and was cutting it up. It was carving it, and that little, the skin, the chicharrones. Oh, my God.
So did you, not to put you on blast, but you're very good about being honest. How much did your kitchen handle almost everything?
Everything.
Your kitchen handled everything.
Everything.
Okay, so
100%. We literally baked the Cuban bread the day before.
Okay,
Cuban
because
bread.
And you had a proper Cuban sandwich. Happy National Cuban Sandwich Day.
That's right. And we actually had like two of the gentlemen that were in the band. It's like, we were born in Havana. We're from Cuba, and he goes, "This is one of the best Cuban sandwiches we've had in South Florida."
Right.
In my 21 years of being here.
Because I wanted to pay homage to you, because a lot of the time when you go to cultural food, I don't know how you want to put it, ethnic food, you can do the ingredients right, and it can taste good, but a lot of the time people who are from that country will be like, it's missing something. It's missing something. That my friends, Puerto Rican, that came with us, and they're big into Caribbean food and Latin-leaning Caribbean food. My wife's Dominican, and I'm born and raised in South Florida, so Cuban food's a big thing for me. I was like, my first thought was, and again, I remembered where we were, was where did they get this from? It feels like hardcore Miami, little Havana Cuban food. Like, the flavors were
picadillo was
perfect.
on point. The shrimp, the gamarone,
it was
fantastic. With the arroz.
I was pissed that I was getting full because I couldn't eat anymore. It was amazing.
I mean, listen, we have at least 8 Cuban culinary team members.
Okay.
So, we knew we could handle it all in house. The last step was the bread itself, and my pastry chef Alex is just phenomenal. He's been doing a lot of our breads in house now. The lobster roll is done in house. The dough for the flatbread pizzas are done in house now. So, and then he made the Cuban bread in house. Came right out of the oven on Friday, which is fantastic. Chef Jason was roasting the pig from the day before, and so forth, and it was great. We were doing a tasting and a walkthrough down in the deli, down in the pizza area, because we're trying to make our pizza downstairs more New York style. Again, doing the bread, the dough in house, and maybe changing up the sauce and the cheese. And he goes, "Come, let me show you something." And we go back to the giant pizza oven. And the top layer, of course, we're making pizzas, and then he opens up the bottom.
It's all Cuban bread.
All pig.
Oh, the pig!
Yeah, the pig and roasting in the oven, in the pizza oven on the
Well,
lower.
the pig was fantastic.
We won't tell the
It was
vegans
great.
that
Well, because
the pig-free oven.
what was great about it was they took all the meat out, which is the way you're supposed to do it,
Yes.
but they kept the skin intact.
Right.
And Chef Jason
So he
all
was
day was
carving it up.
fire.
He
Nobody
was
was
just-
firing it.
He was,
to make it crispy, because that's what you want.
Yeah.
And it still had some meat on it. It was
the other dish that I love, what
Yeah.
you call the chicken chicharrones. Like, you have these little chicken
It was
nuggets with
chicharrones,
crispy
but it was chicken.
chicken skin and a little bit of meat,
Yes.
and that was great. That was a great touch.
The
Not only
yuca,
that,
the croquetas were ridiculous.
the little touches with having the Domino's tables and the
Domino's,
cigar,
classic.
the
Yeah,
rums were great,
Yeah.
and then the azúcar ice cream. Lubie took every
Holy, I ate
flavor
like
and
8
was
flavors. I
Yeah,
couldn't stop. It
they're
was
great.
ridiculous.
My favorite was the Almeni Loco, which is the crazy peanut, which is that was vanilla ice cream, peanut butter swirl, Nutter butter cookies, and Reese's peanut butter cups.
they have some good
I mean,
flavors.
really
I
good.
don't know. They all were
Great time was had
ridiculous.
by all people getting into the music. There was salsa dancing. As people of all ages were really digging it. Now, meanwhile, we got something coming up next month, and that's going to be.
So, if I could talk about next month and talk about the series, actually, because we have the next 3 all lined up.
Oh, nice.
Good.
So, September 14th will be our Bourbon and Barbecue. We do this event twice a year. It is by far our most popular event.
People love
I'm
barbecue.
expecting 350 people or more. Again, do some great barbecue. I don't have the menu just yet, but I'll have it by next week. As far as bourbons goes, it's all the major bourbons. It'll be everything that you would, Maker's Mark. It'll be, we'll have Woodinville. We'll have, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now, but we're working on getting Long Branch. We'll
All
have
the good
Amador, but it'll be all top-notch bourbon. Stone Street's a new bourbon that's from the Kendall Jackson family will be there as well. So there'll be some really, really great bourbons that are participating, and you'll have an opportunity to either get them in a cocktail or taste them neat. And then we're going to do an Oktoberfest themed event. First time we're going to be doing this, but
That's good.
October 19th.
Oh, really?
October 19th.
Oh, that's funny. A few days after my birthday.
Yep.
Steins of beer.
We'll do Steins of Beer. I've reached out
lots of
to Sam Adams to see if they can help sponsor that.
That sounds good.
Three Sons does an Oktoberfest
They
beer.
do, and they do a
And-
great job.
and
That's
they're
my
already-
local.
They're already participating. So I have
Corey
them.
and Joe, you got them to sign up. They're great people.
Yep, I
So,
got Corey and Joe to sign up for that. And then, so funny, a friend of mine that works for Gun Bun Wines, which the original name is Gunlock Bunshoe. And they make
I know Gunlock.
Yeah, they're great. They've been in
they're up
Sonoma.
Napa.
Sonoma for over
Sonoma.
100 plus years. He's actually in town that week, and I said, "Hey, how about if we pour a little bit of Gewürztraminer? I know Austrian, I get it, close enough, but still, but we'll pour a little bit of his wines there that day as well, and then we'll have a few cocktails, whether they're
That
Jägermeister or
sounds
German
fantastic.
inspired.
What's the date of that one?
October 19th.
October 19th. And
And
then we've got,
in
you said a martini meatball event or something?
No,
or
we're gonna do it martini, paninis, and linguini.
Oh, there we go. It's similar to what our
So
friends
it'll
at
be-
Runway
Nice,
used
but
to
I
do.
like that.
Yeah.
Martinis,
Paninis,
paninis, linguini. So
yes,
Nice.
Italian.
So
themed.
Italian themed event. They'll be in November. I'm sorry, I'll look at the date real quick if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, no
here.
worries.
We
I
have
mean,
time.
we are getting
we
ahead
are-
of ourselves, but we might as well set
Yeah,
the table for
November
the fall
16th.
season.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's well before Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is the
Actually, I'm
latest.
sorry. 23rd, excuse me.
Oh, it's
23rd.
right around
So it'll be the
Thanksgiving.
Saturday
So it is
before
Thanksgiving week. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a
good
Saturday
way to
leading
kick
up to
off the whole
Thanksgiving.
big weekend of
Yeah.
week of
Party.
overeating.
It'll be
And,
great. I-
before the turkey, have the panini and the linguini
Yeah.
and a martini.
There you go.
There's a horse named Big Martini in tomorrow's feature race
Oh,
here
there
at
you go.
Gulfstream. I said that is the Lunchbox Hunch Play of the Week, Big Martini, in the Gulfstream contest race. We can't thank you enough for, again, the every week we give away 2 Sunday brunch buffet
Yes.
passes to the lucky winner. Last week, again, George Kosenko nailed all 3 elements, including Caitlin Clark scoring 23 points. He had it right on the money.
Wow.
And 8 people picked the winning horse here in the Gulfstream contest race. Again, you can get involved. MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. Send me the names of the restaurant, which you got it, right? Because
did.
the name of the restaurant in
I did.
Spanish what translates to an English word that Vito Corleone would say, you got to make them an offer you can't refuse. So,
Which is funny you mentioned that, because ironically for that Italian event, I already bought the uniforms for my pastry team.
nice.
They're going to be wearing the "Leave the Gun, Take the Cannoli" t-shirts.
There you go. That's all good. Classic movie. And so we are always just very much
We're grateful.
very grateful for
And
all that
honored
you
to
do
be here.
in
You guys are doing an amazing
conjunction
job.
with us here on the Lunchbox. Are we done? Are we really
We are
done?
done. My friends
Has
were
an hour
literally
flown by
my friends who I
that
brought
fast?
who had never been to one of the Taste of the Tracks were like, "When's the next one? Let us know. We'll pay.
Oh,
We'll pay." I'm like,
Well, before
okay.
we go, I got to remind everybody the new cologne that's just sweeping the nation. It's called Real Mayo. Would you like to put a
No,
dab
don't
behind
do that
your
to
ears,
this man.
Joe? Because
He's
I'm
good.
okay.
No, he's
I
good.
got
He's
it right
working.
here. It just drives the women and
He's
the
classy, unlike us.
and the tuna salad lovers crazy.
There you go.
Yeah, I was asked.
Special
It was
K
a
is
topic
excited.
before, but it was basically the quarterback from the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise lover puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Something I've never
Yeah.
heard of.
That's crazy. I know.
but,
Will Levis.
Developed with Hellman's a food cologne based on mayonnaise You didn't hear this?
I didn't
story?
hear the cologne part.
Oh, this is
no.
why I'm
Oh,
doing
wow.
this
Cologne.
because this
okay.
instead
With
of
a
having
Mayo
to pay
smell.
like $20
That's
and
it.
go into Macy's or Fortune off, you can get the real Mayo cologne for $3.89 at most markets. The Walmart market near you, Target, Publix is a little more expensive, probably
all
$5
have- they
range.
There you go.
But Real Mayo by Mike Mayo. Just we'll put a little dab on. If you were to make a cologne out of a food item, what would you make it out of?
Ah,
'Cause for me, it was a no-brainer.
I don't know. For me, it'd be like Giardini or something like that. I like a good.
Wow,
I like a good.
vinegary man.
I like a good spicy Italian sandwich. So,
Okay.
being a spicy
that
Italian, so
That would turn you on. I said truffle
I don't know,
seems
I'm
like a
just kidding.
no-brainer. Like
said
if you
fresh
shave the
cookies.
truffle,
True.
people know like a
That's
fragrance
true.
of truffle. So I think
True.
a
That's a
truffle
great
a little
cologne,
truffle butter, a little
Truffle butter?
cologne. There you
truffle butter cologne. I can't believe I got mayonnaise on my neck. This is insanity. I'm sorry, Joe. Thank you.
You're the
Thank
best.
you for
We
putting up with
appreciate
my
you.
shenanigans. And
go. It's a pleasure.
that's going to do it. Oh, Dine Out Lauderdale is going on all month long.
Oh,
and
Val
actually,
says sugar cookies.
sugar
Yeah, I said
cookies,
fresh baked cookies
fresh
because
baked
There you
cookies.
go.
literally they try to sell houses by having the cookie smell.
She's the
So it's gotta
sensible
be a
one.
good smell.
Yes, that is true. Dine Out Lauderdale all month long and also all through September. Go online now, dineoutlauderdale.com, in conjunction with our friends at Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival. More than 170 participating restaurants, multi-course dinners and lunches, all kinds of deals on there. Go online, dineoutlauderdale.com. And that's going to do it for this
That'll
week.
do it.
Yep.
That was a tremendous week. Thank you, Joe, as always. And good luck to everybody until next week. Monday, we're going to be home. We had a little change in schedule, but we are going to be doing a home show. And until then, enjoy the weekend.
Go
Stay
Knowles.
safe. Go Knowles.
Go Knowles.
And
Yeah.
enjoy every sandwich.